Three more nights in Matthews as the curtain rises on the Independents at home for the first time in 2021. Forrest Lasso's bruising physical style is exuded through the Rowdies, who can grab a piece of history with a sixth straight win. Against a history-making forward, Dane Kelly available tonight, just re-signed and joined the team in recent weeks. Independents Rowdies in the Atlantic Division right now. We can say welcome to Charlotte. The Independents are home. It's not their new home, but it is a home opener nonetheless. The Independents are right on the cusp of playoff position after a season-opening four-game road swing. They welcome the best team in the league, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And tonight's game is presented by AccuVision LASIK. AccuVision LASIK's new state-of-the-art LASIK surgery center, now taking appointments. AccuVisionLASIK.com. for more information. Joined by Gary Bailey, Mike Watts on hand. In a month's time, that's going to be the new digs for the Charlotte Independents. Opening July the 7th. 3 more games in Matthews, Gary, and then we'll finally get to see this place open. As for what we have today, the excitement around this Rowdies team is fairly remarkable because they are 5 wins in 5 games.
Yeah, and they're about to achieve history. If they get the next win, they'll be the first team in the USL to do exactly that. I mean, it is fantastic at this stage, but there's a long way to go. As we know, you don't win this tournament after 5 games, but have they been impressive? And they beat Phoenix on the way.
Sebastian Guinzotti is scoring for fun right now.
He's a fantastic finisher. 4 goals and 1 assist in 5. That record is brilliant. He's got all the skills at 29-year-old Uruguayan background, so he knows exactly how to finish and how to get those goals into the back of the net. A man in perfect form at the moment.
3-0 Rowdies over Charlotte in the season opener last month against Charlotte. And how about Irvin Parra? He's our player to watch, brought to you by Great Clips.
Fantastic finish against Charleston Battery. Look at the header. That's not easy from that position. He knew exactly where he wanted to put the ball and was able to finish off. Got a brace in this particular match against Charleston. Again, a brave header, gets in front of the defender, knows where and how he has to finish. Again, another wonderful player in top-class form.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Adidas. Dane Kelly is available off the bench. Parra leads the line.
Yeah, just the one change, and that is Christian Dean coming in. We've got him up front, but he might very well switch back into defense there, either as a third centre-back or maybe a wing-back. Of course, missing is Enzo Martinez with an injury. So just the one change there from the team that lost 2-1 to Miami FC.
Meanwhile, for the Rowdies, everything's been going well, but that doesn't mean they won't rotate.
They've rotated 4 players. This is a team that's won 5 on the trot. Guinzotti's still there, of course, the captain, but in comes Serbal, Ekra, Dalgard, and Harris, Alco, Doherty, Adebayo Smith, Leo Fernandez, and Connor Antley. They're all on the bench. So again, the coach does have the option of bringing players off the bench to make a difference. And this is a team that no one has taken a single point off.
Can the Independents be the first? In Matthews tonight, we've got Charlotte and Tampa Bay. Kickoff when we return to North Carolina.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
Hey guys, this is Gabby Douglas. If you have an active lifestyle like me, hydration is key. That's why I love the Hydration Watermelon Smoothie from Smoothie King. With more electrolytes than some of the leading sports drinks, it's a cleaner way to hydrate and recover, with no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. So try the Hydration Watermelon Smoothie from Smoothie King. Order online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Fun fact, you know Mountain Dew and spicy chicken is the perfect combo?
Does it look like I don't know that?
Okay. Didn't mean to ruffle your feathers.
You know, we both did the employee training, Gary.
Okay, don't jump down my beak.
Doing spicy? Do the do.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive,
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
Neil Collins and the Rowdies looking for a bit of history tonight. Sportsplex at Matthews for the third to last time. Memorial Stadium will be ready in a month. After a 4-game road swing, Charlotte has their home opener. And the Rowdies and the Independents have taken the field, and we are ready to roll in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was kidding. No, we're not.
Good try, though, Mike.
Let's pull this curtain up. The season is underway in Charlotte.
There we go. I tell you what, it is exciting when you look at a Tampa Bay side that's won 5 from 5. I mean, absolutely stunning with Guenzardi up front in great form. But, Mike, against New York Red Bulls, their first away match, they looked a little vulnerable.
Head for Steinberger, and Dean knocks that away.
So if Charleston fans, Charlotte fans are worried, then they can look back at that New York Red Bulls game and go, well, you know what, the last 15, 20 minutes, Tampa Bay were having to defend, so there's hope here for Charlotte Independents.
Karamov Dayon Harris, first start for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Brandon Miller.
Great eyesight is a competitive advantage. Folks, Activision Eye Care wants to make sure your kids and family...
Just seeing Brandon Miller, thinking back to the last match, the 2-1 loss against Miami FC away. A little bit of confusion between him and Thomas de Velarde, and that allowed Miami to score the winning goal. So discussion with coach Mike Jeffrey saying he hopes they get their communication sorted this match.
Finished 2-1. Jake Armand scored an equalizer in the 57th. To your point, Mike Jeffries told us the Sion McFarland goal that opened the scoring for Miami, a bad pass. The second from Adonijah Reed, a miscommunication, and those are never good in the back.
Yeah, and the first, to be fair, it wasn't good marking by Charlotte, and defensively again, I've no doubt that Coach Jeffries is looking for a much better performance. They gave McFarland a ton of space to get the ball in the box, in the 18-yard box, and turn and shoot past Brandon Miller in the corner of the net.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game presented by Activision LASIK. We want that communication for Charlotte. For the Rowdies, Guenzardi's the trigger man.
He's a fantastic finisher, and you know, with 4 goals and 1 assist in 5. If you have a player on form, especially a striker, you want to get the ball to them. You know they've got their eye in, you know that they're playing with confidence, and I've no doubt that's exactly what Tampa will be trying to do tonight.
Aim for Guenzardi there. You think about the front for Tampa Bay, and in speaking with multiple coaches over the past month since the season began, whether Dos Santos is there or the idea of Tejada or M. Cosana when they return from injury changes how Guenzardi plays, but he's smart enough he can play off any of the players that they've added up front.
Oh, absolutely. He has that ability. Even Adebayo Smith, who scored the winner against New York Red Bulls 2 in their last match, he's got incredible pace, but probably the biggest thing about Tampa Bay is they've kept the majority of a fantastic team last season. And so if your team's already looking brilliant and gets to the final, and then you add a couple of quality players, then wow, you've got yourself an incredible setup for this season. And along with Phoenix, they have to be favorites to get to the final once again.
Arman's diagonal is off the mark. Let's take a look at tonight's injury report. It's brought to you by Novant Health. For Charlotte, nobody on the injury report officially. Enzo Martinez not in the 18, we believe due to injury. For the Rowdies, mentioned M. Cosana, Tejada, Dos Santos, missing up front Luis Fernando as well.
And yet they still have on the bench Foster Langsdorff, Doherty, and Adebayo Smith. So, so I say that strength in depth over an entire season, you know, that has to make Neil Collins' side, you know, favorites from the East anyway, to finish top of the pile.
Lee Cohen and Neil Collins have done a tremendous job building quality depth in this Rowdies team.
They haven't. I'm not quite sure how they do it. There's only them and maybe Phoenix which have kept the bulk of their players. Every other team, be it Miami, be it Pittsburgh, I guess Charlotte maybe not too bad. They've kept most of their players, but most teams start with a completely new roster virtually. It's easier to count the players they've kept than the sort of players they've brought in.
Lewis Hilton.
Talking of a good signing, Lewis Hilton, when they signed him from St. Louis. What a good player he was there, and what a good player he's been for Tampa.
Mike Jeffries found him out at Young Harris College, twice a Division II All-American, 2 years for the Independents, 2 in St. Louis, and an ideal fit for the Rowdies.
Works hard, good passer of a ball, got, you know, endless energy, and you know, he was part of setting up the goal they scored against New York Red Bulls too. It was a pass to Doherty, who hit it first time through to Adebayo Smith, and his pace took him past the New York Red Bulls defense, and that was the only goal in the match. So they won that game, and a vital win it was. Their 5th in a row, which, as we said, is on the verge now of setting an all-time record.
Richmond in 2011, Rochester in 2012. Are the only teams in the championship's history to get 6 wins on the bounce to start the season. The Rowdies last full season, 2019, got all the way to June without suffering defeat. Lost in the Open Cup and then in the league a few weeks later. But this time around, the Rowdies, they have a different swagger to them, don't they? You get to a final, and even though it was ultimately canceled by an outbreak of COVID-19, came into this year thinking the Rowdies are front runners, and all they've done is proven everybody right.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, it's tough to become a top side. I think it's even tougher to remain a top side, because it's very easy to get carried away. It's very easy to think, you know what, 5 out of 5, we're cruising. You take your foot off the pedal, and suddenly you got yourself some problems. But you can't see that happening here. They go about their business. They seem focused. They're hardworking. Ooh, that's going to get him into trouble.
Velarde goes charging through. Greg Dobka is going to have a conversation at least.
It's a little bit dangerous, and I think that's what referees are very, very quick to jump on. It might not be malicious. You might even get some of the ball. Let's have a look and see if he does. Ooh, I tell you what.
Studs exposed.
Yeah, studs exposed. He doesn't mean to, but these days, I think if you lose possession, you then just got to sort of stand up and try and steal it back with a toe poke. You can't go lunging in like that. Of course, he's all fired up because he was part of that misunderstanding with Brandon Miller that cost him in the Miami match. So probably Thomas Velarde trying to prove a point early in the game.
Kept away from Serbal. The offside flag goes up on a pass that traveled, what, 5 yards? Odd one there. Folks, join us July the 7th for our Chick-fil-A grand opening night at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Your Jacks play the New York Red Bulls 2, plus there will be a huge fireworks show after the game. Tickets on sale now, charlotteindependence.com. The only problem with a planned firework performance, as we found out with a different stadium opening this year, is when you lose the game and then shoot off the fireworks. It's a very, very misdirecting experience. So Charlotte will hope to get off on the right foot and have those fireworks on a good, happy, joyful, meaningful night for soccer in Charlotte.
And just to pick up on Christian Dean, we mentioned him in the opening. He was up front on the team sheet, and we said we thought he'd probably end up in defense. He has. He's on the left side of a 3-man back line with Thomas Velarde more or less as the wingback on one side, Clay Dimmick on the other. So, and he's a big, strong defender, Christian Dean, and he's going to be a tough man for Tampa to get around.
Good touch inward by Harris. That broke down. Charlotte the other way, and Parra blown up from behind by Forrest Lasso. Lasso, who's got far more follically inclined approach to style than most.
He looks the sort of defender you don't want to mess with. He's smiling now. He needs to growl a bit more.
Actually does. With clip notes, you save your haircut details.
Irvin Parra, this is the first time he's played in the eastern half of the country in the USL Championship.
And great. Good is when your haircut costs less. Great is when it still makes
This is a background all over the Orange County, Las Vegas Lights, San Diego, Seattle. You're right. Don't sort of fancy that coastline out west.
Rowdies touching the final third. Ekra helps to set play. Out to Scarlett. Harris. Quickly, service a bit short. Dropped by Armin.
There he is. Big Christian Dean. Good height in him. I look about 6'2", 6'3", so he'll be useful at set pieces, both defending and attacking.
Guy who retired for a couple of years. He's only 28 now. He was a first-round pick by Vancouver in 2014. Mike Jeffries, when he signed Christian Dean, made reference to the fact that he's still capable, and sometimes you need to reignite that fire, that excitement to play.
Talking of fire, wasn't he with the Chicago Fire as well? Yeah, good pedigree.
Offside flag is up. And so it's been a bit of a slow running start to this match, 11 minutes in. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select, the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. The latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com. Hilton. Dalgard didn't break through. Good news for Tampa Bay is if the lights went out, I'm pretty confident you would still be able to see them in these kits.
Yeah, very different is the nicest way to put it. I actually quite like it, to be honest.
Good. Crossed up Lasso a bit, comes out to Guillen.
Looks like they're trying to tempt Charlotte out, but Charlotte staying sort of basically in their own half there, saying you want it in your half, be my guest, and you cross the halfway line, then we'll close you down.
Spoke with a coach in the Eastern Conference unaffiliated with this game who had seen the Tampa Bay Charlotte opener and indicated he felt that Charlotte had played fairly deep in that game, didn't necessarily take a lot of risks. Conversely, didn't really challenge Tampa Bay all that much defensively. It was a 3-0 defeat at Al Lang Stadium on opening night. Guinzotti, as we highlighted pregame, 2 goals and an assist in that season opening fixture for Charlotte.
I think they all came in the second half, because when we spoke to Mike Jeffries about it afterwards, he said, look, for 50, 60 minutes up until the first goal was conceded. Well, it was 58th minute that Guinzotti got the penalty. So literally for nearly 60 minutes, they felt they were in the game and weren't troubled. Then a bad penalty given away, and then it was downhill from there.
Steinberger is down, and there's the yellow card to Dean.
very early in the game to be getting a yellow card, and we've said this so many times on broadcasts, you know, as a player, you just don't need to leave that left foot coming through there, Christian Dean. It's a little bit naughty, but it's more than naughty, it's unnecessary, and now you've got to tiptoe your way through the rest of the match because another misguided tackle and you're off.
Forward. Simple header away. Jan Ekra will step back to recover. Ekra's first start of the season. 61 minutes in 2 games. The native of the Ivory Coast. One of his former roommates is having a busier summer than he probably anticipated about a month ago. Grew up around Karim Benzema.
Did he?
Indeed.
Wow.
Give and go. Dean sniffed that out appropriately.
Isn't he also an ex-Charlotte Independence player, Jan Ekra?
He is. I thought you were going to say Karim Benzema.
Maybe one day, you never know.
Quarter hour gone. Scoreless here. Folks, the Independence has partnered with Folds of Honor to raise funds for kids of fallen soldiers in the Charlotte region. We'd also like to honor your favorite veteran of the armed forces at a game. So go to charlotteindependence.com/veterans and nominate your vet today.
The Hyatt Place downtown, just a few blocks from the American Legion Memorial Stadium and endless dining options. The Hyatt Place is the perfect place for Jacks.
Charlotte looking to challenge Tampa Bay for the first time in the attacking half. It's been a patient start from this Charlotte side. To be fair, they did that a bit against Charleston and ended up beating them 3-0 on the road. It's not necessarily a bad idea.
No, you're right. They were very patient. In fact, Charleston hit the post after about 15 minutes. And then slowly Charlotte got themselves into the match. But once they got ahead, they were clinical, getting 2 more. Conceded nothing, so they walked away with a 3-0 victory, and that win Mike Jeffries was very, very happy with. And a win here today, Mike, and they go joint second in their group, Charlotte. So, you know, I know it's early days, but that's what inspires you as a player. When you're near the top and you can see playoffs looming, it's happy days. When you're near the bottom and you're struggling to even make the playoffs, that's when the tension really gets tough.
Charlotte won their group a year ago in that truncated 2020 season. 8 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws, but bounced in the conference quarterfinal by their Southern Derby rival, Charleston. It's flicked beyond Steinberger, who's shown an inclination to move off on this right-hand side a few times. Good work here, Armin. Di Velarde. This looks like it's growing into something. Nearly got to Palomino. Armin slides in, keeps the ball. Bronico lifts, headed back, and Parra was trying to set up Palomino again.
Good attack from the home side. They haven't offered much up until now, but that was well structured, well thought out, nicely built up, winning the ball on the edge of the box again. Jake Armin and Irvin Parra just trying to set it all up at the far post. Here we get a chance to see it again. But it really is a good play. Di Velarde just, you know, attacking the defense. It nearly falls for Palomino, but look at Jake Armin here. Wins it. Ball to the back post here. And Parra just trying to set up Palomino. Nearly came off for them.
If you're traveling to Charlotte to see an Independence game, make sure you stay at the Hyatt Place downtown. The Hyatt Place just blocks from the games and surrounded by endless dining options. Hyatt Place downtown, the official hotel of the Charlotte Independence. Miller sends this out the other way. A bit of pressure there from Serbal high up the field. Charlotte is going to slalom through midfield. Zadi, Dalgard, Serbal returns.
They're very deep for a home side, aren't they, Charlotte? You look at them and think, well, the onus is on them to attack, but that's just not how they play. It's not how Mike Jeffries necessarily thinks. He's looking to win it any method, and this is what suits them best, sitting back, soaking it up, and then looking for that counter-attack.
Serbal reverses. Think about Riascos and Roberts. You're talking about two highly experienced center backs anchoring this back line. Brandon Miller's won goalkeeper of the year in this league. Chipped ahead here. This will find Harris. Harris cutting back. Steinberger. That blocked. Flex out toward Bronico. And the Rowdies maintain possession through Accra, the former Charlotte man.
That was a bit of a wrestling match in midfield with Accra there, but he just showed his upper body strength.
Harmon whisking around. Palomino gets it wide. Irvin Parra. Flicked back. That's as intriguing a little give and go as we've seen Charlotte willing to take at this point.
Yeah, they're just growing into this game all of a sudden. They've been doing a lot of defending. Certainly, they haven't offered much in attack until the last 5 minutes, but now they seem to be growing in confidence, and this is what you need. You can't sit back against Tampa because they will do you eventually. You've got to have a go at them, get them on the back foot, try and find the gaps in their defense. And what is it? They've only conceded 2 goals in their 5 games, so you're going to have to put them under pressure. They're not going to give you anything. You're going to have to really have a go at them.
See that off-putting possession statistic. So often you see a number like that and you think, well, that's a bit misleading. I don't know that it has been, to be fair, this time around.
Yeah. Although possession's one thing, the referee just stops the game, but I do think chances on goals, good chances, what really is the big difference between teams. Is this a water break or?
Well, the 22nd minute, I believe that ball got high and may have caught Di Velarde in a way that's going to have the referee ask for the athletic trainer to look at his head a bit. There's Neil Collins moving the chess pieces around. What a story Neil Collins is. Was the starting center back for the Rowdies. Stu Campbell relieved of his duties, asked to step in as the manager, was never the interim. He was always going to be the guy. Has spoken so glowingly about Lee Cohen, about the ownership group, then and now. Their willingness to give him the opportunity. Already had his UEFA coaching license. Stepped into the team, started to turn them around in 2018. 2019, they were fantastic. 2020 reached the final and a win today, and he's got a share of USL Championship history. It would be the longest winning streak to start a season.
And I guess with a record like that, you start to look at the MLS and think, well, won't be long before one of the big franchises says, hey, you know, here's someone local who's perhaps got the talent to do something big at MLS level.
And truthfully, my mind gradually inches back to Europe.
Well, that's also an option for him. It's just getting the chance at the right level, and you take a club that's struggling, it can make you look bad.
Attack on here for Charlotte off an awkward hop. Look at this from Palomino, lays it off Parra, off the post, deflects toward the line. Did it get in? Dimmick says it did. Referee says it did not.
Wow, what a run, what a chance as well. Palomino, absolutely brilliant. Parra's got almost an open goal there, tries to squeeze it in, then it hits the post, but you can't come much closer than that. But it's Palomino here because he threatens to go one way. Watch him drop that shoulder, do a little bit of a Ronaldo. He's aware of where Parra is, and it comes back, and it nearly goes in off Clay Dimmick, who's there in support as well. Look at that, Parra just trying to squeeze it in between goalkeeper and post, but that starts with Palomino. Brilliant run.
Palomino. So deflect over to Parra. Parra Referee looks, now he points. Staggering turn over the last 5 minutes in Charlotte's favor. The Rowdies concede a penalty. The Independents have a chance to take the lead.
Amazing, isn't it? They've soaked up the pressure, but when they've countered, they've done it quickly, with pace, with class, with style. Let's have a look at it again and just confirm that it is a penalty. All of a sudden, they just come to life here, Charlotte.
Represented by Activision.
Lasso stood up big and strong. Did Parra run into him? Hard to say, isn't it? But referee Greg Dobka's made the decision, and he just gets one look at it, to be fair to the referee. And it's hard to argue against him.
Penalties are brought to you by Activision Eye Care. Etu and give Charlotte the lead here. Against this staunch Rowdy defense. Got it by Loro, off the post and in.
Just have a look at Loro there. He's got his head in his hands. He got a hand to that. I think he touched it onto the post. And he turned because he thought he had made the save. So relief there for Junior Eto. And a hug for Parra for winning the penalty in the first place. But I'd like to see it again, because I thought, just judging by the goalkeeper's reaction, that he gets a full hand on this. Have a look. Yeah, he gets a fingertip on. You can see him turn around and think, I've saved it. I've tipped it onto the post, only for it to see him for him to see it nestle in the back of the net.
For the replay, presented by Activision.
Charlotte takes the lead in the 25th minute on a penalty, and it's mission accomplished. The goal was brought to you by Devil's Logic Brewing.
That was clever play by Parra. You know, all the headlines will be on Junior Eto and taking the penalty and scoring it, as Mike Jeffries and staff look on and discuss the situation. But you've got to give Parra credit. He gets in the box, he has a go at the defense, he draws the tackle from Forrest Lasso, and in the end the referee decides it's a penalty. But it is the centre forward's skills, Irvin Parra, that makes it all possible.
Fans, luxury apartment home living is right around the
Sky
corner
over
of your
DiValardi.
mountains at Riley Apartment Homes. Riley's upscale apartment homes come with all the
Aquafina
amenities,
is the
plus wide
official
menu,
water of the
independent
Charlotte
players.
Independents. Game
Riley
heats up, cool down with Aquafina.
Here's the thing, Mike. According to what I can see, Tampa Bay Rowdies have never been behind in a match this season. All 5 matches, they've been ahead. At some stage, never been behind. This is the first time, and this is a good test. And although Neil Collins won't be happy to be behind, he'll also be happy that his team are being tested in a difficult circumstance and want them to respond positively.
Rowdies felt like they started really well, controlled the match against Red Bulls about 60 minutes. And after the match, Neil Collins said it's a lot easier to learn lessons from a win than a loss. And one would imagine that they hope that's the case again today.
Yeah, absolutely. He said they lacked a bit of quality in those moments, those last 30 minutes, and Red Bulls pushed us hard, is the actual quote from him. We couldn't get enough control of the game. Well, that hasn't been the case here. They have controlled the game up until literally 5 minutes before the goal, but I guess you have to credit Charlotte. They waited in the long grass, so to speak, and they just popped out, and they had a chance just before that as well, where it hit the post from Parra. So it's not like it was just one lucky break. They had 2 or 3 good breaks, and one of them paid dividends.
Dividend. Charlotte the 1-0 lead. A side that started on a 4-game road swing, split them, 2 wins, 2 losses. Losses in their 2 matches in the Sunshine State, away to Tampa Bay, away to Miami. But wins at Charleston, they hadn't beat them in a long time, 11 winless against the Battery, and a win away to Pittsburgh, which I think is going to be a win that will grow in value as this season goes along.
Yeah, Pittsburgh looking stronger and stronger. 2 wins out of 2 for Pittsburgh. But just going back to that loss against Miami, the problem I think for Mike Jeffries and his coaching staff were the stats that came out of it. 15 shots for the home side, just 3 for Charlotte. 5 on target for the home side, just 1 for Charlotte. And if you look at chances, which more and more people look at as a nice stat, because some shot can be so poor it doesn't trouble the keeper. Chances are, you know, chances to score. 12 for the home side, Miami, and just 1 for Charlotte. So those sort of stats make it very clear Charlotte didn't deserve to come away with anything, and that's probably why they've been a little bit more cagey in this game. They're going to do anything and everything they can to disrupt Tampa and to beat them, and they feel the best way is on the counter-attack.
I felt the game had become a bit stretched against Miami, in part of their own doing. Certain giveaways, certain miscommunications. Mike Jeffries told us the team's done better this week in possession. Defensively, they've improved year over year. Showed off some of those qualities early on, and now they're looking to double the advantage. Look at this effort, Parra. Sending this off Guillen. He's gesturing that he has. It is a corner.
Another dangerous move, another one involving Irvin Parra at the end here, but it's a good run down the left-hand side. Bronico, he's going to knock it forward to Divaladi, who's really playing well in that left wing-back role, getting up that left-hand side, and Parra not far off.
Parra's looking fit, strong, active, mobile. It is a Chick-fil-A corner kick. Stop the cheer with the referee. Gary, you a Chick-fil-A fan?
I'm a vegetarian, so I guess that answers your question. Sorry to the sponsor, but if they come up with a good vegetarian version, then absolutely.
I'm going to have to look into this. Ball knocked away by Lasso here in the 31st minute.
Fans, it's a great time to grab
And picked up here by Tampa Bay.
Pepsi is the official soft drink
Laurel.
of the Charlotte Independents.
We're told there were some technical difficulties with the video. Should have you back now. We intend to keep you the rest of the way.
Well, fortunately for the viewers, nothing major happened. Ball came in, got cleared. Tampa come out with it. But now look at the blue shirts. Remember, first 15, 20 minutes, they were just waiting on the halfway line. Now look at the high press. They're playing with a bit more confidence now, Charlotte.
Eto. How much of that do you think was game plan? It felt like it really broke right at the quarter hour mark, where Charlotte became a little more aggressive. Or how much of that is simply what Tampa Bay opened up to Charlotte by that point?
Either or. It could be either of them. But I think it would have made sense for Charlotte just to sort of soak up a little bit early on after that 3-0 bashing they took in the opening game. They probably felt, you know what, let's just find our feet, get ourselves in the game, and then because we're at home, we have to start pushing forward. And the moment they did that, they caused Tampa problems. So maybe it's one of those games where it's worth it to attack Tampa. Yes, you leave yourself a little bit vulnerable to their wonderful attack, but if they're vulnerable themselves, maybe you'll get some joy out of attacking them. And to be fair, hasn't Irvin Parra looked good? They've given him some good service in the right areas, and he has looked very capable of scoring past Evan Laura.
Ekra, head on a swivel. Offside flag up against the speedy Dayon Harris.
Just looking at Dayon there, you can see down the line, shouldn't really be getting caught offside there.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Beginning of Pride Month. There's plenty to come from the USL Championship and its clubs at the Championship and the League One level. Pride nights around the league. here by Bronico to stay out of the book.
And it looks like it's going to work. It's a good appeal. And I think he's saying, look, there was nothing in it. You know, he went down quite heavily, Lewis Hilton. He's going to play, of course, to the referee. Bronico saying, really, there was nothing in it. Please don't stick me in the book. And referee obliged.
Bronico, for now, only on probation. Here's the attack for the Rowdies. Good seeking ball. This is in behind Harris, and there's Miller coming out and leaping on the ball. Both of them are still down. Referee's pointing toward the corner flag. And you wonder if Miller might have gotten a bit of Harris's studs. Harris took a nasty fall on the tail end of that too.
It's a good run by Harris. Great pace. Gets behind the back four. Beautiful ball slid through for him. But brave goalkeeping from Brandon Miller. He had to come. Harris was through in on goal. Have a look here. This is a wonderful ball going to be played. He's got the pace to get behind the defense to Velarde. Goalkeeper comes, puts his arms out, grabs the ball. But, yep, I think he gets a good kicking for his trouble. You'll see it from here. Ooh, there's a couple of studs flying there at Brandon Miller. To be fair, if the referee could see what we can see, he'd probably give a free kick Brandon Miller's way because he just got kicked. But he might have given the corner instead. And a brave run down that right-hand side from Dayon Harris. Brave in the terms that he was trying to get behind the back four. He was trying to influence the match. And at the end, he was prepared to get hit by the big goalkeeper.
Well, if you've watched Brandon Miller long enough, you know he doesn't stay down for nothing very often. As tough as they come. And Harris went down in a way that was difficult as well. He's going to come off for a moment. Referee seems to be giving a thumbs up. The athletic trainer and vice versa. So looks like Dayon Harris will continue. Will he get back in before this set piece is taken? Everyone in Charlotte knows what Lewis Hilton can do from a corner. Header all the way to the back post. Lasso was pouring down the middle and steered that out of play.
I think he was
trying to get that last touch.
Yeah, exactly that. I think it was Lasso meant to flick it on. Look at the big man here. He gets on the end of this, and there he plays. I don't know if he goes for goal, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's just flicking it on to Gwenzadi at the far post.
If you're Lasso, aren't you looking around going, where is everybody?
Well, he should be very closely marked. You're right. I mean, he's the biggest guy in attack there, so you would think that he would have been closely marked by Charlotte Independence, and he might have thought he was going to be closely marked. He thought, I'll just flick this one. I won't even try and head it on goal. Either way, it's a well-worked set piece that nearly paid dividends for Tampa Bay. And I guess if there's anyone who does want to do something, it would be Forrest Lasso after giving away the penalty.
Penalty resulted in Etu's 25th minute go-ahead goal for Charlotte. Folks, join us for the free pregame tailgate parties, postgame parties, and great savings at our partners by joining Jack's Brigade. Jack's Brigade, just $39.99, and comes with a gift box jammed full of great Independence swag. That's the first time I've ever seen swag in a promo read.
Is it fair to say there's a bit of swag in Charlotte's play right now?
Well, there's none in mine and none in yours, but...
Look, this is a big test for Tampa. As mentioned, never been behind before. And not that they're likely to panic, and even if they lost, I don't think it would put a big dent in their season. They're 6 points clear at the moment, but it is a test of their mentality as to, do they keep calm? Do they keep playing it the way they know how? What changes does the coach make second half? All these things are going to be a good test of Tampa.
Gesturing forward, Riascos not afraid to go on the dribble. from deep in the Charlotte half. Is this an element of, if you're Charlotte, you want to maintain this tempo, this is what fits you right now?
I think so. I think defending in a mid-block, not pushing too many bodies up, working hard, closing Tampa down. That's what they feel comfortable with these very well-managed counter-attacks that have produced real dividends. Once they're in attack, then they might stay there for a little while, but once they get pushed back, Charlotte, they don't seem to be in a hurry to get forward again.
Willing to play that long ball forward. And the Rowdies carry forward through Serbal, and Grinzotti returns. Serbal tries to turn the corner, and Dean ranges over.
We spoke about one of the keys beforehand is getting Grinzotti on the ball. Haven't seen enough of him. Every time he does get it, he's a big threat.
Independence fans, join us on Saturday, July 17th for Military Appreciation Night, presented by famous
40 minutes
Toastery.
gone. Charlotte
The Jacks
1,
will wear special
Rowdies
jerseys
0.
as we play the New York Red Bulls and raise funds for Folds of Honor. First kick is at 7 p.m.
Rowdies looking for their 6th win to start the year. Doesn't feel like anyone else in the league is particularly close to their level to start the campaign.
It's not the start that counts, is it though, Mike?
Well, last year, the finish was great too. That's the good news, is the Rowdies have clearly put themselves in position to be a front runner throughout. Whether they started quite this well or not, you and I were having a chance to chat with Mike Jeffries about this 2-game homestand. You get Hartford, who are undefeated as well. Last year won their group. And I go, well, Mike, you're playing a pretty good Hartford team and a Rowdies team off to a pretty good start. He goes, 5 wins in 5 games? That's pretty good. Quickly corrected myself, off to a perfect start.
And it's a tough group, as you mentioned. Hartford, Miami FC are looking very good, so Mike Jeffries in picture, they'll be worried about them. Pittsburgh, Loudon's had a few moments, and Charleston Battery are sitting bottom of this group, and they were a fantastic side last season, and I've no doubt they will be again. So of all the groups, this Eastern Atlantic Division is probably, I sort of hesitate to say it because I'm sure others will pop up and say, no, our group is harder, but I think this is as hard as any group, this one.
Well, to put Charleston in perspective, only one team beat the Rowdies last year, Charleston. They did it 3 times in the regular season, and the Rowdies got that monkey off their back in the postseason, vanquishing the side that vanquished Charlotte in the playoffs. What is it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, again, have a look, Charlotte. In that half, lots of blue shirts. They commit, but straight away here, they get the sense they're prepared to drop. If they lose, if they can't get the ball back within a very short period of time, they're quite happy to sort of backtrack into their own half.
So come to Laurel. Fans tailgating is now allowed at your Independence games. You can reserve a tailgate spot for the season or for a game. Create new friends and great memories. Go to charlotteindependence.com to get your reserved tailgate spot today. Bouncing ball ahead. Look at that first touch. Second effort at a sombrero. Player goes down. That's another penalty. Bronico won a penalty for Charlotte. And Neil Collins is incensed.
Wow, that's amazing. A second penalty in that half, and was his boot a little bit high, Bronico? Is that what they're arguing? Fantastic one-header by. You see, that's what they're saying, is he lifted his boot high, and is it too high? I don't think it is. I mean, it's high-ish from Lewis against Lewis Hilton, but not that high that it was near his face. But that's probably what they're trying to argue. And it doesn't matter what they argue. Decision made. Wow. What a start for Charlotte.
AccuVision eye care penalty. This is perhaps a tad surprising. Eto took the first penalty. Parra will take this one. Charlotte trying to spread the wealth.
Well, maybe they felt that the keeper got to the last one and maybe they need something different.
True enough. A little less armchair psychology this time around. Parra, there's the save from Loro. Always just tremendous in penalty situations. Got a hand to one, it leaked by off the post and in, but denies Parra now.
That's a massive save from the goalkeeper, huge. You go 2-0 down just before halftime, you're in big, big trouble. But that, if anything, will give the visiting side a big lift. Chooses the right way, as he did with the first penalty. But this time, gets a hand to it, and maybe it's not that good a penalty because there's not enough pace in it. Have a look at Parra, sort of side foot. He's going for placement rather than power. And once the big goalkeeper chooses the right way, he's able to make the save reasonably comfortably at the end. But good save and crucial save there from Evan Loro, who, by the way, we haven't even spoken about it, made a save in the dying moments against New York Red Bulls too. The ball was bobbling around the box and it looked like there was going to be an equalizer for the hosts, and he made a crucial save, and that got mentioned in the newspaper articles. So 2 matches running now, the big goalkeeper's played a crucial part.
Free kick Tampa Bay at the beginning of 1 additional minute in this first half. Tonight's stoppage time is brought to you by AccuVision LASIK. Saw Tampa Bay find a free header on a corner earlier, and big Forrest Lasso is lumbering into the penalty area. That's going to be Dean's problem. He's in the midst of it. Riascos is the one who's now moved over to line up with Lasso. Dean now fronting Scarlett. Imagine the momentum swing that could come following Charlotte's inability to convert a penalty a moment ago. If the Rowdies were to score, header from Lasso, who popped up 15 yards out. That'll take us to halftime. Well, Eto's got the goal. The problem is Eto not the only opportunity for Charlotte at the penalty spot. Would they potentially rue that missed penalty right before halftime?
Oh, you think it's a big possibility. The goalkeeper there, Loro, making a fantastic save. And when you're playing a team that's won 5 from 5, you pretty much want to take every opportunity, you know, to put them down when you can. Well, what Evan Loro's done there is kept his side right in it. And there'll be mixed emotions, I would think, Mike. I think Tampa Bay will go in and say, hey, we're 1-0 down, but it could have been worse, guys. Let's go out there. And Charlotte will be the opposite. They'll go, we're 1-0 up. Let's try and forget what happened, and let's continue with what we're doing. But it's perfectly balanced.
We'll talk about the new Memorial Stadium, renovated and almost ready to welcome Charlotte fans when we return. Charlotte, a goal to the good over the Rowdies at the half.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
Fun fact, you know Mountain Dew and spicy chicken is the perfect combo?
Does it look like I don't know that?
Okay. Didn't mean to ruffle your feathers.
You know, we both did the employee training, Gary.
Okay, don't jump down my beak.
Doing spicy? Do the do.
only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
Halftime in the Atlantic Division. Charlotte and Tampa Bay meeting in Matthews, but not for much longer. American Legion Memorial Stadium is set to open next month. And Gary, let's take a look at the new digs. You, of course, played in Old Trafford so many times. Having a home for a club, a franchise, is so important to their growth. What a home this is.
It's a beautiful home, as is the Theatre of Dreams, and you're right. It's a place where everyone goes to on a regular basis. You get to meet and you get to sing your songs, support your team. That's what it's all about, Mike.
It'll open on July the 7th. Tickets are already on sale. You see downtown Charlotte in the background, and the scoreboard, the field surface, the stadium seating, all totally redone for Charlotte to have its brand new shiny home in a month's time. As for what's going on in Matthews right now, we are at halftime between the Rowdies and Charlotte. We'll take a look around the Eastern Conference and news and notes from the league when we return.
I wasn't going to let anything get in my way of achieving my goals, which were to be a professional soccer player. So the first opportunity I got at preseason, when a teammate asked like if I was dating a girl or something, I just came out to a bunch of my teammates at dinner and said, no, I'm gay. All I needed to do was that one time, because then I didn't lie. Your sexuality should never limit you from playing the sport you love.
Yellow's there again, second header. Here's a chance for Cicerone. Russell Cicerone, the leading goal scorer.
Fun fact, you know Mountain Dew and spicy chicken is the perfect combo?
Does it look like I don't know that?
Okay. Didn't mean to ruffle your feathers.
You know, we both did the employee training, Gary.
Okay, don't jump down my beak.
Doing spicy? Do the do.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story.
8 a.m.
Coming up next as well.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Hey guys, this is Gabby Douglas. If you have an active lifestyle like me, hydration is key. That's why I love the Hydration Watermelon Smoothie from Smoothie King. With more electrolytes than some of the leading sports drinks, it's a cleaner way to hydrate and recover, with no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. So try the Hydration Watermelon Smoothie from Smoothie King. Order online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Welcome back to tonight's game. It is presented by AccuVision LASIK. AccuVision LASIK's new state-of-the-art LASIK surgery center is now taking appointments. Visit AccuVisionLASIK.com for more information. AccuVision LASIK, the difference is clear. With Gary Bailey, Mike Watts, let's take a look at news and notes from around the USL Championship. Clear Audio USL Player of the Week. One friend may say, oh, it's Bruno. Bruno Lapa, game-winning goal twice last week. Birmingham's on a roll. Pride Nights will commence for Pride Month all around the USL Championship. For more information, Go to USLchampionship.com. And, well, the story coming in, of course, had to be the Rowdies, right?
100%. When you win 5 on the trot, no doubt about it. But the story might change tonight. You know, it's 1-0 down. It's all in the balance there for Tampa. Can they equal the all-time record or not?
Let's take a look at the Atlantic Division standings, get you caught up. You mentioned it earlier. Charleston's at the bottom. I have no doubt there will be changes along the way with our 30 or so games to go.
You would think so. I mean, Charleston are just too good a side. They're a fantastic outfit. New York Red Bulls are busy winning tonight. They might jump up. It's gonna move around. Pittsburgh have won their last 2 games. Hartford look a very good outfit as well. And Miami well improved from last season. So, yeah, it's going to chop and change.
Let's take a look at some scores around the league brought to you by the Hyatt Place Hotel. Wow. Memphis up 2. A brace from Juan Carlos Obregon in Hartford. Which one surprises you more?
Difficult to say. I mean, but Hartford 3 against New York Red Bulls. I mean, Tampa Bay struggled to beat New York Red Bulls 1-0. And as we mentioned in the broadcast, spent 30 minutes defending against them. So 3-0 by halftime. Just actually how good are Hartford?
And in the late games, maybe you're thinking the Phoenix game. After all, you are calling it.
Yeah, Phoenix-San Diego could be a cracker. San Diego, their first win in their last match. And Phoenix, of course, a little bit like Tampa Bay are in the East, Phoenix are in the West. Just a fantastic squad.
Indeed. 1-0 at the half. Highlights when we come back.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
Fun fact, you know Mountain Dew and spicy chicken is the perfect combo?
Does it look like I don't know that?
Okay. Didn't mean to ruffle your feathers.
You know, we both did the employee training, Gary.
Okay, don't jump down my beak.
Doing spicy? Do the do.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
This familiar scene for Charlotte soccer fans. We have 2.5 games to go now in Matthews, North Carolina. Charlotte 1 and Tampa Bay 0. The Accuvision halftime continues with our first half highlights. They're brought to you by Accuvision LASIK. And if you are Charlotte, you were taking on a lot of pressure, a little bit of water early on. You win this penalty in the 23rd minute, seconds after you get that opportunity from Parra.
Yep, you're right. They took the pressure, but they bounced back here. This is a fantastic run by Palomino. Parra hits the post, and you thought for a second from Clay Dimmick it had gone in, and suddenly they spring to life. Don't they, Independence? They suddenly come to life, opportunity after opportunity, and is this a penalty? Have a look. Does he run into Lasso? Does Lasso get in his way? Harsh perhaps, but well done, Parra, for making it happen.
25th minute. Your Eto. Moro appears to get fingertips. It's not enough. Charlotte on the board.
Goalkeeper's devastated because he thought he'd saved it. Look at him there. He tips it onto the post, which is probably why they did change their penalty taker. When this happened, is his foot high here? No, referee says he falls to the ground again. Not sure if Scarlett brings him to the ground here, whether he runs into the big defender, but he plays it and he wins the pen.
Laurel, no question he saved it that time.
Oh, brilliant. Goes the right way. Wasn't the hardest of pens, but it wasn't a bad pen as well, I guess. But once the goalkeeper guesses the right way, he makes a crucial save that leaves this match really hanging in the balance.
Here are the halftime statistics. You guessed it. They're brought to you by Accuvision LASIK. Charlotte 1, Rowdies 0 at halftime. That possession began to even out a little bit as we went along, but the Rowdies have set the tone of this game. The Independents have used that mid-block to sort of stymie them.
Yeah, well, look at shots on target. 0 for Tampa Bay, 3 for Charlotte Independents, who really should at least be 2-0 up, and they hit the post. They could be 3-0 ahead. And Tampa, for all the possession, all the control, haven't had a single shot on target to bother Miller in goals. That has to change for the Rowdies if their manager here, Neil Collins, wants to affect this game. No good having ball if you don't do something with it.
Neil Collins joined now. That was the loneliest place in Matthews. There's Eto, without a club for about 10 months before he came into Charlotte, and scores a penalty here against the league leaders. For the second half, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. It's brought to you by Hyatt Place Hotel. We've got 4 games tomorrow on ESPN Plus in the Eastern Conference.
Good games as well. Pittsburgh, Austin Bold. That's going to be an interesting one. Pittsburgh really in a good turn of form. Tulsa have had a few ups and downs. And Miami FC, much, much better side than last season.
Rowdies have made a change at halftime. Foster Langsdorff will come on. Zach Steinberger has come off at the break. And we'll see what kind of addition Foster Langsdorff can be in this second half. Charlotte will get the first touch. Parra over the ball. Our second false start of the game, and here we go. 1-0 Charlotte as we head to the second half.
Interesting that change with Foster Langsdorff. Obviously, Coach Collins has decided I'm not going to wait to see my attack come to life. I'm going to make it happen by bringing on an extra attacking force. And Foster Langsdorff, they really do have a good finisher there who can make a difference on loan from Minnesota United. So he's decided, you know what, we're going to go for this. And credit to Tampa for the positive approach.
Langsdorff, 75 games in the championship, has scored everywhere he's gone. He's got 32 USL championship goals between Reno and Timbers 2.
We've also got Adebayo Smith, whose pace is phenomenal. They could bring him off the bench as well, Tampa, if they want. And Doherty, by the way, who played a wonderful ball through for Adebayo Smith's goal against New York Red Bulls. So plenty of firepower still available to the Rowdies.
Foul from Ekra. From Palomino.
Great run from him first half. Oh, absolutely brilliant. That set up that shot that hit the post from Parra.
Palomino joined on loan for the 2021 season, came out of the Houston Dynamo organization. See a bit of the skill that has excited the Dynamo Academy folk for a while. Hugh Roberts races over. And Eto drew the foul. Charlotte here in their first home game of the year. It's not their new stadium, that's to come in a month, but Mike Jeffries told us it's a bit of relief nonetheless to finally play at home. Have some of your home support. It was a difficult road swing in theory. To get 6 points out of it is not a bad result.
Yeah, no, it's very good as long as you win your home games, and they're winning this one. So far.
So far.
They also have the option off the bench. We're talking about Foster Langsdorff for Tampa Bay, but Dan Kelly, of course, for Charlotte, and you can throw him on.
This too high for Parra. The lack of Enzo Martinez changes things a little bit if you're Charlotte, but yes, you do have, of course, Dane Kelly, but some other players with pretty good experience as well. Jordan Bender's got some MLS experience available off the bench. You could argue both these teams have not pushed all their chips in yet. Serble ahead. Guinzotti, quiet first half, which is to some extent how Mike Jeffries felt Charlotte performed against him in the first half a month ago, only to watch him pop off for 2 goals and an assist in the second.
Yeah, if you get ball to him, he's going to hurt you, and that's got to be part of the difference this time around for Charlotte is not to fall too deep. I think that was a concern of Mike Jeffries in the first match. They were a little bit too deep. They allowed Tampa to play around their fringes of the box, and if you do that, eventually they're going to find a way through. If they are more positive today, Charlotte, and they put pressure on Tampa Bay's defense, then they have every chance of getting away with the 3 points and stopping this fantastic run by the Rowdies.
The Eastern Conference will take center stage when the USL on ESPN continues. On ESPN Deportes, Tuesday, June 15th, clash of Midwestern powers. Indy 11 look to continue their hot start, welcoming perennial playoff contenders Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC to the mic. Catch the pair of beasts of the East Tuesday night. Kickoff scheduled for 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Those two teams played on ESPN2 in July last year. Tyler Pasher, who since moved to Houston, scored that wild 96th minute game-winning 40-yard wonder strike in Pittsburgh.
Stuck in your brain, is it? You can't forget that moment.
Some would call it a cracker. I would call it a voice cracker, personally.
Anything from 40 yards has to be one hell of a strike.
Independence fans stay in the game with Novant's help. Novant's proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Charlotte Independence soccer team.
Guinzotti.
Their goal is to always provide great
Brilliant
service
Palomino.
at hundreds of locations in the
Return
area.
from Riascos. Palomino slid in there awkwardly. Guillen's trying to throw, and Neil Collins again up on his feet.
I think Palomino was worried. He slid in there, and halfway through the slide, he suddenly stopped because he thought, well, I'm in trouble here. And in stopping, he actually hurt himself. And I think Neil Collins is upset because they had a nice quick throw in they could have attacked. Just have a look here at Palomino, the number 8. You see he lunges and then he sort of stops. Maybe he collides with the legs of Delgado.
All ushered ahead by Roberts. A possession for Hilton. That was an excellent threaded ball into the corner, and a good intervention here for Charlotte. Corner Tampa Bay, and it does feel like there's that trailing dust or sand that seems to be coming off the field today that you saw in that slide. Perhaps it's moved a little bit slowly here at times, and that's been an issue that opposing coaches have raised in the past in Matthews. Chick-fil-A corner kick for Tampa Bay. Corner delivered short of Lasso. Maybe a chance to counter, got broken up. Eto.
These are chances for Tampa, and they need to grab one of them sooner or later, either from a set piece using Lasso, or they tried there to get Harris through on that right-hand side with his pace.
Bronico. Not going to get all the way to Dimmick.
Okay, so I mean, just on that, like, what did you see? Because to me, it looks kind of.
Gatorade is scientifically researched and game tested for athletes like your Jacks. When you need hydration, choose the official isotonic sports drink of the Charlotte Independence, Gatorade.
I mean,
Palomino.
the whole thing is shaking.
Armin tried to muscle his way in.
I'm just asking because I want to know specifically.
Lewis Hilton getting the ball moving quickly from that free kick. He wants to get this. He wants to get the pace up. He wants to get the energy up for Tampa Bay. It's very easy to get lulled into just holding possession, and next thing you realize there's only 20 minutes to go, and then it's all panic. So I think Lewis Hilton's saying to them, come on, we need to get forward. We need to get as many attacks against Charlotte as possible and hopefully not get caught offside. That's basic attacking. You look down the line, you keep yourself onside. Now, yeah, it is possible to get caught offside occasionally, and even a player as good as Foster Langsdorff does, but it's a little bit lazy.
3 on 14. Langsdorff, what an odd couple of years it's been for him. Portland Timbers 2, pulling out of the league this year. That's where he spent time when he came out of Stanford, where he won 3 titles under Jeremy Gunn. So he moves on to Reno as Timbers 2 started to go younger. Reno folds with the awareness that they were out of the playoffs. He gets loaned to Minnesota for 2 weeks, gets a chance to play a couple games then, signs over the offseason in Minnesota, and now loaned out to get some additional game time for the Rowdies with their extreme rash of injuries up front. Really well thought of, and still a fairly young player at 25 years old, with about 100 games or so of professional experience and 3 collegiate national championships. But he's off to start this new adventure in St. Pete.
Yeah, and like many footballers, he lives with a suitcase nearby, because one moment they're in one town, then the next. And you mentioned Parra, he's also moved around a whole ton, and I guess that's what footballers expect on a regular basis. If you can stay with one club, a successful club, that's great for you and if you have a family, but a lot of footballers is just constant moving from one club on loan to the next, and not as easy a life as many people think.
I was excited when you said stay with one club. I'm going, okay, Gary, just like Manchester United, but then you said successful club, and
ooh, low blow.
All gone away.
Low blow. Back in the day, we were very successful. We're getting back again. But yeah, I mean, it was nice to be at United for 10 years, because you get your house, you get settled. It's you know your way to the training ground.
Any fans, don't forget to join us.
By the way, I'm going to post your Twitter address to all the Man United fans in America.
The Jacks will wear special jerseys as we play the New York
Right now, I'm
Red
just
Bulls
trying to keep the
in
Rowdies
race
and the
funds
Independence
Holds of
fans
Honor.
happy.
First kick is 7 p.m.
Miller stared down Ekra, played it right down the middle. And here comes Charlotte. Oh, Dean, excellent. Armin, now Dean arrives again. Cut back for Parra, allows this through. Palomino not on the same wavelength.
Oh, a little bit of Barcelona-like football there from Charlotte down that left-hand side.
Twisted ball over Parra.
Some beautiful moves there. The big man Christian Dean with a little twirl and a back heel. Some lovely passing going on, and Parra with the dummy for Palomino, and they just couldn't quite get on the end of it. But yeah, it's exciting stuff to be watching. Carnival football.
A for effort.
Absolutely. A for ingenuity and Brazilian skills.
Miller. This will get out to Dimmick. Dimmick, not that time. Fans, your Jacks will wear special jerseys on July 17th when the Independents face the New York Red Bulls 2. Famous Toe Street presents Military Appreciation Night, and those game-authentic jerseys will be autographed and auctioned, with all proceeds going to Folds of Honor, scholarships for local kids of fallen veterans. Get your tickets at charlotteindependence.com.
As you were speaking there, we were just watching Harris twisting and turning, and you're right, loads of sand came up from the pitch, so that is probably making it difficult for some of the players. The pace of the ball will slow down, as mentioned. You might find yourself slipping and sliding a little bit more than usual. Mind you, Tampa come from a beach resort. They shouldn't have any problem with sand.
And yet, I've spoken to numerous coaches about it. They say the field at Al Lang is pristine. Precisely the kind of place you want to play. So while the beaches are just on the other side of the fence, it seems the sand stays out.
Well, then it will be a challenge for Tampa because most of their matches have been at home. And so they've been used to that fantastic surface.
And then you have to deal with the fact that in the Atlantic Division, certainly Loudon playing on turf. There are others that have various field surfaces, sizes. Al Lang is pristine. That's not always a guarantee, although it's certainly gotten much better in the league over the years.
Well, here as well, with the size of the country, even if you're just in the Eastern Division, you've got so many different sort of climatic variations. The only difference between Manchester and London was how long it rained for. Otherwise, it was going to rain and it was going to be cold. But here in the States, you've got to be prepared and able to sort of deal with all sorts of different challenges.
It's a very different expectation for the grounds crew in Montclair, New Jersey than it is in St. Petersburg, Florida, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Charleston's match yesterday against Galaxy 2 postponed because of all the rain that came down in the field, simply being unable to be played. Parra. Palomino went for goal. A late curving dip over Laurel and out.
Not a bad strike either, and it did dip at the end. He knew what he wanted to do, get it over the keeper and then bring it down under the crossbar, and it just didn't put enough sort of dip on the ball, but great strike. And once again, when Charlotte get close to goal, they create proper opportunities, whereas yet I don't think Brandon Miller's had a serious save to make from a very sort of pretty footballing side, if that's the right descriptive word. But there's no cutting edge to what Tampa are doing at the moment.
Guenzati. Rolls to Dalgard. Job leaning inside, Ekra. Rolls across, Scarlett further. Harris.
Again, just to prove my point, it's all lovely football around the edges of the box, but the ball into the box isn't good. They're not sliding balls through. They're not trying to win penalties, as Charlotte have been able to do on 2 separate occasions. They're just not hurting the opposition. I'm sure Neil Collins is thinking exactly that. I need more direct football. I need to get, you know, clever players into the box, and Guenzati of all people, they need to service him on the edge of this box if they're to get something out of this match. Has he been yellow carded for time wasting?
Yeah, I get the feeling Brandon Miller, if I read lips right, is unhappy. I think if you listen real close, you might understand. That is pretty early in the 62nd minute to see that yellow as he started to stride toward the ball.
Yeah, but if you're the team leading and you're getting way into the second half, you've got to know that the referee's assuming you're going to look to time waste. So you don't want to tempt him, but it did seem a little harsh.
So Miller goes into the book. Armin, return from Eto. Dragged down by Parra. Missed Armin. Now, for fans who've heard the idea of a record winning streak, that's a season opening winning streak that the Rowdies are trying to match. The 2011 Richmond Kickers when they're still in the championship. The 2012 Rochester Rhinos, I suppose you could say also for them when they were in the championship. The longest winning streak in franchise history for any team in the championship is Phoenix in 2019. They won 20 in a row. The next in line was 10 by FC Cincinnati in 2018. Forrest Lasso was on that team when Cincinnati did that. shortly before they went to Major League Soccer. And of note, that Phoenix winning streak that ended in Fresno, as this is a difficult entanglement. Langsdorff is going to get a talking to. Yaskos went over the line, crashed into the boards, and Langsdorff is going to get a yellow now as well.
I wonder what Langsdorff was doing there, 'cause it didn't seem like he was going to get a yellow. Then he argues with the referee, Greg Dobka, who then yellow cards him. Well, that's really silly, because there's a bit of a shove in the back. There's contact. There's no question there's contact on Riascos. He should get up and say, sorry, ref, and get on with it. Instead, he chirps the referee and gets a yellow card. It's, again, if he gets a second yellow, he'll look back on this one and say, hell, maybe I should have played this differently.
Langsdorff goes into the book in the 64th minute. Brandon Miller has an added incentive now to get this ball away as quickly as he can. I think the next goalkeeper to get 2 yellow cards for time wasting will be the first.
You should learn your lesson the first time, shouldn't you?
Palomino.
Oh, great skills. Palomino.
Oh, he's after it again, and now Lasso slides in, corkscrewed into it. This game's starting to take a little flair to it, isn't it?
It is. Well, there's something to fight for now. Tampa Bay is struggling to break Charlotte down, and it's annoying, a team that so far has been faultless.
Hilton slowed by Etu. Serbal, who had that nice dribbling clinic. As far as Accra. This will find Parra. One against maybe the most sturdy back 3 in the championship.
Working hard, aren't they, Charlotte? Clay Dimmick there maybe comes back from an offside position, but he pushed up. They were defending, and then he pushed up. I think it was Christian Dean pushed up on the left-hand side, and they work really hard, and now you'll see them funneling back. They're not really bothered on a high press. I think that's one thing that Mike Jeffries, I would guess, would be very happy with, is the amount of effort that's gone into defending and then getting up on that quick counter-attack and then getting back to defend again.
Leo Fernandez among the Tampa Bay substitutes waiting to make their entrance. 3 in number. Attempted an additional sombrero for Scarlett. And here are the changes for the Rowdies. Steinberger came off at half for Langsdorff. Adebayo Smith, who scored the winner against Red Bull 2 last time out. And Jordan Doherty joined Leo Fernandez. The trio of subs are 2, 3, and 4. So 1 sub left, 2 windows in which to use it. So no issue there.
I can get to 22 now. I got 17 and 22.
Substitutions are brought to you by Complete Construction Services.
I think it's a very positive move by Coach Collins. It's not just, 1 player or 2, it's 3. It's basically saying to the team, all right, let's just do this differently. I'm going to put on a whole bunch of fresh legs and let's just take this up a notch.
Parra. Off Lasso, corner.
This is a Chick-fil-A.
Hilton came off in that shuffling of players. Trio, Harris, Serbal, and Hilton came off, and Doherty, Adebayo, Smith, and Fernandez on. Tremendous amount of movement. Eto Did that catch the arm of Adebayo Smith? It did. And this is really harsh. That's his 3rd yellow card of the year in just 6 appearances for Adebayo Smith. And Sebastian Guinzotti is saying he's only just come into the game.
I agree. I mean, unless you put your arm out and you look to give away the handball, then it really is just accidental, and the referee can give a free kick for it, but a yellow card. Well, they do have strikers on though. Foster Langsdorff, Adebayo Smith, Sebastian Guinzotti. Neil Collins is going for this.
Greg Dolpka has just indicated he will not be listening to any more commentary from the players. Ball delivered toward Dean. Foul from Dean. Was the first player involved in a yellow card parade.
Yellow card issued to Tampa Bay. Rowdies number 17, Adebayo Smith.
Folks, join us July 7th, Chick-fil-A grand opening night at American Legion Memorial Stadium. The Jacks playing New York Red Bulls 2, plus be a huge fireworks show after the game. Tickets on sale now, charlotteindependence.com. Well, this is the golden gun for Charlotte. Dane Kelly will come on and Irvin Parra comes off. Sub brought to you by Complete Construction Services.
Fantastic first half from Irvin Parra, no question about it. Wins the penalty. Yes, he has a penalty saved, but unfortunate, hits the post. Just seems to have run out of a little bit of steam, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few more subs to come on for the coach, because there's some tired legs out there. Mike Jeffries will be concerned that they start to run out in these last 20 minutes, so expect to see some other changes for Charlotte.
Dane Kelly, the league's all-time leading scorer. If there is a USL Championship Hall of Fame to come, he should probably be the first inductee. Comes over from the Israeli First Division. He's playing on the same team as Sebastian Velasquez, a player who plenty of championship and even MLS fans would be aware of. Only scored 1 goal over there. Trained consistently, was around the side. So fit to go. Coming off the bench in his 2nd game since his return from Israel.
Good test for Tampa, 20 minutes to go. How good are they? Can they really fight back from this? Can they find a way through? Have not been impressed with their ability to work Brandon Miller at all. I don't think Miller's had a single save to make. Their quality in that 18-yard box has been very poor by their high, very, very high standard. One has to be fair to the Rowdies. They've been, was it 11 goals in 5 matches? They've been fantastic. But today, got to say they haven't been at their best. And we did talk about it. All the previous matches were at home before New York Red Bulls. They struggled last 30 minutes against Red Bulls 2, and now they're struggling here today.
Look at this touch. Chance for Langsdorff to turn and get a shot away, and finally something on target toward Brandon Miller. He's up to the task.
Good save from the goalkeeper down to his left. That was sharp. Foster Langsdorff doing what hasn't been done so far, as you mentioned, getting a shot on target, shields the ball, turns, just find a little bit of a gap there, and makes Brandon Miller get down sharply to his left.
Well, if you're the Rowdies, dealing with a Charlotte side that was certainly displeased by their performance away to Al Lang. And as it is said, heavy the head that wears the crown. The Eastern Conference champion will get everybody's best shot. Corner, Miller.
Well taken by the goalkeeper, great pair of hands. Wasn't under any challenge, that went over every single Rowdies player. So again, quality not good enough into the box. You know, all your big men are up there. You've got to find one of them. Can't knock it over every single one. So it hasn't been their night so far in attack, Tampa Bay, but Foster Langsdorff has shown us that they have the ability, and who knows, they've still got time.
17.5 minutes plus stoppage. Another ball forward by Leo Fernandez. Got to Langsdorff, who held up, and this is going to come up short. Armin.
See, they're rushing it now, aren't they, Tampa? They're just trying to get this momentum going, trying to get this tempo up. And if you're Charlotte, you don't want to sit back too deep. You want to challenge them. You see, they're very deep. They've dropped into their almost into a low block there. Used to be they were on the halfway line. Now they're all dropping to their final third. You're going to start inviting Tampa Bay onto you. That's better. Push up.
Apparently they found that trigger at the halfway line. And they've been unafraid to go try and sneak up on Jan Ekra. Rolled out wide here by Guinzotti. Trotting down the edge of the penalty area, dummied through, and Dimmick sends it. Maintained by Guillen. Fernandez, one of the craftiest wingers in the league.
See plenty of bright yellow jerseys in that box, 3 of them. A lot in attack. They really are beginning to put some pressure on now, Tampa. Here's these fresh legs we mentioned. They need to get on the ball now, Charlotte, and just slow this game down and keep control of the ball.
Jordan Bender will come on.
I'm going to lose him.
Played 3 games in USL League One for Orlando City B last year. 2 games in Major League Soccer. Complete construction services substitution. Marcelo Palomino had some moments that just made your jaw drop tonight.
Wonderful runs, chinking runs, sent defenders the wrong way. No wonder his coach gives him a big hug there. Thought he was excellent, the young man, just 20 years of age, Palomino. Very impressive, but his day is done, and fresh legs on just to help them just keep Tampa at bay.
And you think about what Mike Jeffries has provided in Charlotte, whether it be to Colorado, to Houston, a really good place for young players to see minutes at a professional level from MLS sides that maybe don't have an affiliated team of their own in the second division.
Yeah, coaches that teach you the game. I think if you're going to send a young kid out to a USL team, you want them to go somewhere they're going to learn about the game, be professional, learn the right approach, and certainly you can get that with Mike Jeffries, as you can with a number of really good managers in the USL.
Well, you could argue Foster Langsdorff is an example of Minnesota finding Tampa Bay a good place for him to see time. Sebastian Dalgard off. Connor Antley will come on. Complete construction solutions substitution. And that is the 5th and final change for the Rowdies. Brought to you by Complete Construction Services. Player goes down. Play does continue. Swung across by Adebayo Smith, recovered by Miller. The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Goes without saying, whether it comes from management or from players, fans, racism is an unwelcome scourge in this league, period. Ball rolled ahead, takes a deflection, and hops out to Adebayo Smith.
Still working hard, Charlotte, still putting in a lot of energy, closing Tampa down, making them work to get the ball wide and get it down the flanks. The clock is ticking, 13 minutes or thereabouts. And they're forcing Tampa into a situation where they're going to get increasingly desperate. Mind you, Doherty on the ball. His pass for the goal by Adebayo Smith against New York Red Bulls was fantastic. outside of the right foot, if I remember correctly. Lewis Hilton gave him a short pass, immediate first time outside of the right foot, right through. Adebayo Smith through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and that was the crucial goal against New York Red Bull. No doubt Charlotte would have seen that video and gone, okay, we'll keep an eye on both Doherty and Adebayo Smith.
Will leak down the line, stay in play, ball toward Kelly. Kelly settles. Kelly got the shot away, and Laurel pounces up, knocks it over. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Dane Kelly peppering goalkeepers in the championship.
What a strike that is from Kelly. That's absolutely brilliant. Good save from Lauro as well. Look at the setup here. Kelly takes it, his first touch is not great, but he's hit that absolutely brilliantly there. Left peg, flying towards the keeper, whose outstretched arm tips it over the bar. What a wonderful move, and what a great strike.
Mentioned it was a nearly fruitless endeavor in Israel. Played about 20 games between the domestic cup and the league. Only scored 1 goal. Service here, Laurel, two-fisted punch. 10+ minutes and stoppage remaining. Plenty of time here for the Rowdies, but Charlotte would love a second. Early ball driven, clipped away by Jordan Doherty. He's crossed 40 games played in the league. Second ball in the play. Armin. For Kelly.
Atlas Chiropractic and Wellness is the official chiropractor of Charlotte Independence.
Here we are in the final 10 minutes, just that one shot on target the entire match for Tampa. Not good enough.
Zadi rolls this out. There's the cross. Again, if you're the Rowdies, you don't want to panic at this point. There's no need to panic, but you're looking for 2 goals to keep the winning streak alive. I'm not sure that that necessarily is Neil Collins' first priority at this point.
I mean, I'm sure he'd take a draw from this match right now, but he just needs to see his team create something in that box.
Here's the creation. Good recovery, arm and stride for stride. And that's the first time we've seen Raiko Rosarena involved. He just trying to provide a helping hand over there. Brother of Tampa Bay Rays young star, Randy Rosarena. And well done. Bio Smith. Ekra.
Yep, not on target. Once again, final product, not good enough from the Rowdies.
Pepsi Cola is the official soft drink of the Charlotte Independence. Enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi at your next Independence game. Pepsi, born in the Carolinas. Away here by Miller. Clearly the Rowdies came here to get all 3 points. And I think they came here to get the 3 points, not necessarily to set a record.
Yeah, I think records in any sport, and certainly in soccer, they don't mean as much as winning trophies do. That's something that remains. A record's always nice. You mentioned Phoenix, 20 matches they won on the trot, and they won nothing that season.
Ball driven across, diving header, and now a bicycle clearance. Ekra keeps it alive. Antley couldn't do the same. Played over the line.
It's a great cross into the box. I wasn't quite sure whether there was a save from Brandon Miller or not. Maybe if we see it again, Leo Fernandez whipping this ball in from out wide. Have a look here, great skills. Beats 1, beats 2. And then, well, it's both goalkeeper and striker who go for the ball, and I'm going to put it down as a save from Brandon Miller. So I think if he's not there, that gets headed into the back of the net.
Over here padding Brandon Miller's stats, and he probably doesn't mind at all. This is the goalkeeper union at work.
This is good for Charlotte. Slow the game down. 7 minutes left. Don't need to rush it. Get 2 balls on the pitch. The tricks of the trade. That's what you have to do when you're 1-0 up. There's 7 minutes left.
Down. Langsdorff. Smith went off of Roberts. Did well to keep his hands in a good position too.
These days you have to keep your hands away from everything. Even when you're trying to balance, you've got to somehow balance without your hands, just in case the ball hits them. Although referees have been told more recently to use common sense with the handball. It used to be at the start of the season that everything that hit the hand was virtually deemed a handball, but slowly we've seen, especially in Europe, that referees are a little more understanding of when you actually need your hands for balance and when you're just simply putting them out there in the hope of blocking the ball coming into the box.
Hernandez helped to keep it. Ricocheted off Ekra.
Good play from Charlotte, controlled performance, holding on to the ball, pushing numbers forward now. This is a good example of how to control possession from the home side, making Tampa chase them.
Folks, join us on July 7th for the Chick-fil-A grand opening night at the all-new American Legion Memorial Stadium.
Miller.
When your Jacks play the New York Red Bulls. Opening kick is set 7 p.m.
Oh, the high arm there from Bender. Be a card for that. And more importantly, you've given possession away here to the Rowdies in the attacking half.
Yeah, and it's a set piece, and with only 5 minutes left, you would think that the Rowdies are going to bomb this into the box. Have a look. His arm does go up, and these days you're going to get into trouble for that. Problem is now, I would certainly be hanging that right in the middle of the box and saying to Brandon Miller, do you want to come and punch this or not? And can we challenge you with our big guys like Forrest Lasso in particular?
And this Charlotte team hold on. Like Jeffries trying to orchestrate with his staff. Independents have done well to hold a lead since the 25th minute. Need to mark tightly.
We're back to that same theme. The final ball has been really poor for a team that has been perfect in 5 games. They've had 1 effort on goal that counts. It must be a very, very frustrating night for all Tampa Bay Rowdy fans, and of course for Neil Collins there.
Fans, you can follow the Independents, the Rowdies, and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. It's the home to the USL Championship, USL League One, MLS, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Join the more than 12 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today, ESPNplus.com. Adebayo Smith, no. 3 minutes and stoppage time to go. Fernandez, corner, Tampa Bay.
Adebayo Smith had a chance there. It was bouncing loose, what, 12, 13 yards out. And he had a shot which got blocked, but the pressure's building. Charlotte got to be careful. Too many, too much possession, too close to Brandon Miller at the moment.
Fernandez. Narrowly high, had several options. This does stay in.
Work again from the home side. Look at the blue shirts everywhere, picking up almost every player.
Lasso made that.
Just when he had a chance to keep possession there, they've lost it. Charlotte going to work hard to get it back.
Wind whipping in North Carolina, ball forward.
Well, sometimes even excellent teams, and Neil Collins' side has been absolutely excellent. You can see the frustration on his face, but sometimes it isn't your day. You can see the wind whipping on that white flag in the background, making it difficult, but just hasn't been Tampa Bay Rowdies' day. They haven't played well. They haven't created opportunities. Keeper Brandon Miller's had maybe one save to make the entire match. And if their winning streak comes to an end, well, they'll still be well top of the league, and they still will look. I mean, if you'd have said to Neil Collins, 6 games in, you've won 5, I think you would have snapped your hand off.
So down. And if you're the Rowdies, you think about Steven Dos Santos, Lucky M. Kosana, and Juan Tejada, Luis Fernando, who's new to the side. Got a pretty good grip on what they're going to be able to bring once they all get healthy and back on the field.
I think they've missed Dos Santos here because he's a good route one option. He's one of those you can bomb the ball into the box and just feed off for knockdowns. Without him, they seem to have struggled a little bit. I might have wanted to start with Adebayo Smith to have his pace from the beginning, but obviously Neil Collins felt he was better coming off the bench.
Armin. Leo Fernandez. Armin can't quite believe it. 3 additional minutes here to close. Stoppage time is brought to you by AccuVision LASIK.
Jake Armin just showing the passion there from Charlotte. They're annoyed that he got blown up, then pushing the ball back right to the touchline there, so Evan Loro has a longer ball to kick. That's the passion that Mike Jeffries will be no doubt happy to see from his team in these last couple of minutes.
Armin off to the corner again. Good use of the flag, I suppose.
I just wonder there, because you're going to lose the ball eventually, so I just wonder if it's not worth passing it around. That way you keep control of the ball. It's moving it left to right, back and forward. But either way, they have taken some time off the clock.
Guillen, Fernandez, Accra. And Tampa Bay salvage a draw here on the road. Can Charlotte hang on to all 3 points? It moved them tied for second in the Atlantic. Cross that Roberts had dead to rights. Lasso. Ahead, the turn, Fernandez turns down Adebayo Smith. Guinzotti maintained, cleared away Riascos.
Just wonder for Tampa if Leo Fernandez had started on that left-hand side with his ability to build up attacks. So that man there, Adebayo Smith, had been on from the start. Whether it would have been a different story, we'll never know, and you have to rotate your team. So again, coaches will look at it and say, well, we really didn't have a choice. We need to rest legs wherever possible. But a tough day at the office here for Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Skied up, Miller crashes in to Roberts. It's all smiles.
Poor old Roberts, he got a couple of elbows in his face there from Brandon Miller, but hey, you know what? If it keeps a clean sheet as the seconds tick away, he's not going to complain.
Driven forward, referee not looking to his watch yet. And Charlotte picks up their marquee win to start the season, and the Rowdies, for the first time, go down. Mike Jeffries and the Independents return home for the first time in 2021, and they are victorious against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. A hard-fought match start to finish. Junior Eto is the man of the match, presented by Noda Brewing Company. He scored the penalty that put Charlotte ahead in the 25th minute, and they never looked back.
Yep, he did well, but then so too did Irvin Parra for winning the penalty in the first place and hitting the post. Also mentioned to Marcelo Palomino, who I think Coach Mike Jeffries will be very happy with. At the end of the day, well played by Charlotte. They took a little bit of pressure first 15, 20 minutes, but I thought the better side after that. And for Tampa, Neil Collins and company will have to look at a match in which they threatened Brandon Miller maybe on one occasion only in the entire match, whereas Charlotte had 4 of 5 good chances. No question the quality wasn't there for Tampa today.
AccuVision LASIK postgame when we return.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
It's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story.
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Pain can't wait. That's why Novant Health is making access to orthopedic care easier than ever. Same-day appointments, after-hours care available for urgent needs, and the safest care in the region. Book now.
Charlotte, a 1-0 win, and Mike Jeffries can crack a smile now as the Rowdies lose for the first time in 2021. They are still clearly atop the Atlantic Division, but a good moment between fans and Independence players who have not seen each other in person since October. With Gary Bailey, Mike Watts, let's take a look at the save of the match. It's brought to you by AccuVision LASIK.
Foster Langsdorff with a good turn here, and basically the only save that Brandon Miller had to make, but a good save it was, sharply down to his left, pushes the ball away from danger for a corner. The keeper didn't have much to do, but what he did well.
And now full-time highlights. AccuVision Eye Care brings them to you. 25th minute, penalty won by Parra, delivered by Eto.
Yeah, Evan Loro gets a hand to it, but not enough, and Parra winning the penalty superbly well. Lasso bringing him down. Junior Eto puts him in the lead.
And in the 45th minute, Parra a chance to get a penalty of his own. Loro up to the task.
Yeah, good save from the goalkeeper. It's not a bad penalty. It's a decent height for a keeper, but he chooses the right way and keeps his team Tampa Bay Rowdies in this match.
60th minute, and Palomino, a lot of English on that.
Yeah, it was dipping very much at the end, wasn't it? Have a look, he gets it. Oh, had another couple of yards to go, that would have dipped in.
79th minute, Charlotte still in an attacking phase. Somehow Dane puts this on target.
It's a great strike from Dane Kelly, left foot, and once again, goalkeeper Evan Laura has to make a decent save.
Loro in the end makes 3 saves in this match. Accuvision Lasik full-time statistics. Independents win this one. Chancellor, for your final thoughts?
We'll have a look at shots on target. 4 for the Independents, and they had 2 penalties in there, and just the 1 for Tampa Bay Rowdies, and we saw what a good save that was from Brandon Miller. Not enough from Tampa Bay. Didn't work the goalkeeper at all. Forget about possession. It's what you do with possession, and I think for them a very, very frustrating day at the office. On the road, at home, untouchable. On the road, some question marks about Tampa Bay Rowdies. And of course, for Mike Jeffries and Charlotte Independents, they jump right up to joint second position in the table, and they're looking really good. And Dane Kelly is back.
Well, the Rowdies will not set a record tonight. The Independents return home and grab their 3rd win of the season. Now joint second place in the Atlantic Division. Next game at home next weekend against Hartford. The Rowdies will return home to take on Loudoun next week. Charlotte 1, Rowdies 0 for our entire Vista WorldLink team, led by producer Sharni Yerke, director Gage Tillotson, Manny Simone, Gary Bailey, Mike Watts saying so long from Charlotte.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.